Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the latest headlines. Discussion on Kashmir unrest is slated in the Rajya Sabha today after opposition demands. Home Minister seeks support of all political parties for a solution. Home Ministry begins inquiry into controversial preacher Zakir Naik's NGO for FEMA violations. Maharashtra police submits report over his speeches. Alleged involvement found in unlawful activities with possible terror links. Centre issues advisory on cow vigilantes, asks states to crack down on those taking law into their hands in the name of cow protection. After months of face-off, Russian and Turkey presidents pledged to repair relations, vow Mexico-Ankara friendship axis will be restored. And Archer Tanuda storms into the pre-quarterfinals of individual event at Rio. Men's hockey team survives Argentina to brighten chances of quarterfinal entry. The top story this morning, the Kashmir unrest issue will be discussed in the Rajya Sabha today at 11 a.m. Well, the decision to discuss the matter comes after the opposition members raised the demand on Tuesday. Now, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh, speaking in the Rajya Sabha on the matter, said that the government is ready to find a solution with the support of other political parties. Singh also admitted that the situation was serious and he sought the support of all sides in resolving the complicated problem. Now, opposition leaders, including those of Congress, CPIM, SP and JDU, also expressed serious concerns over the continuance of curfew for over a month in the Kashmir Valley. The leaders have been asking an all-party meet on the matter and an all-party delegation to visit the state to take stock of the situation.
कश्मीर की स्थिति निश्चित रूप से बहुत ही गंभीर है और मैं यह दावा कभी नहीं करना चाहता और किसी को भी यह दावा नहीं करना चाहिए कि कश्मीर जैसे सेंसिटिव स्टेट की जिस प्रकार की इस समय की कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रॉब्लम है, उलझी हुई जो समस्या है, उसका समाधान अकेले सरकार करेगी। यदि समाधान करना होगा तो मैं सभी का सहयोग लेकर ही हम समाधान करना चाहिए।
खाली गवर्नमेंट पर आरोप नहीं लगाना चाहते, हम तो गवर्नमेंट को कहते हैं कि हम भी मदद करेंगे। जितनी अपोजिशन पार्टीज हैं वो तमाम मदद करेंगे सरकार को कि जो वहां हालात हैं उनको काबू करने के लिए।
Is an all-party meeting not called? Why is the political process not being started, sir? And for heaven's sake, stop this pellet guns, and you please right now announce that there will be an all-party delegation as soon as the parliament session ends on the 12th.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier reached out to the youth of Kashmir on Tuesday in an emotional speech intended to assure the people of the good intentions of the centre. Prime Minister Modi said that the rest of India loves Kashmir, but there are a few who would like to proclaim otherwise.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday reached out to Kashmir, the state that's battling over 30 days of curfew. He said the freedom that every Indian enjoys can be felt by Kashmiris too.
देश के आजादी के दीवानों ने जो ताकत हिंदुस्तान को दी है, वो कश्मीर को भी बड़ी ताकत मिली। जो आजादी हर हिंदुस्तानी अनुभव करता है, वो आजादी हर कश्मीरी को भी नसीब है।
Modi was addressing a gathering at freedom fighter Chandrasekhar Azad's birthplace in the tribal-dominated Alirajpur. He wished every Kashmiri youth a bright future, even as he deplored the fact that some misguided youth were instigating violence.
जिन बालकों के हाथ में, जिन युवकों के हाथ में, जिन बच्चों के हाथ में लैपटॉप होना चाहिए, जिन बालकों के हाथ में वॉलीबॉल का बॉल होना चाहिए, क्रिकेट का बैट होना चाहिए, मैदानों में मस्ती से खेल होना चाहिए, हाथ में किताब होनी चाहिए, मन में सपने होने चाहिए। आज ऐसे निर्दोष बालकों के हाथ में पत्थर पकड़ा दिए जाते हैं।
Modi thanked the Congress and the country for dealing with the situation in Kashmir in a mature way. He said through development, the centre along with the Mehbooba Mufti government in Jammu and Kashmir was doing their best to find a solution to all problems.
जम्मू कश्मीर की सरकार को बधाई देता हूं कि कुछ लोगों के मनी निराशों के बावजूद भी आन बान शान के साथ अमरनाथ यात्रा चल रही है.
Modi's remarks come a day after Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti expressed confidence that the Prime Minister will initiate a dialogue with the people of Jammu and Kashmir to address their problems. 55 civilians have died so far in action by security forces on protests erupted after the killing of Hizbul terrorist Burhan Wani in an encounter on July 8th. Scores of people have been injured in these clashes. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's listen in to what leaders of other political parties had to say about Prime Minister's statement on Jammu and Kashmir.
अब सदन चल रहा है, पार्लियामेंट चल रहा है. पार्लियामेंट में अगर आकर वो स्टेटमेंट दिए तो एक अच्छा मैसेज चले जाता है. और हर स्टेटमेंट वो सदन के बाहर देते रहेंगे और सदन में जो जनता को 130 करोड़ जनता के जो प्रतिनिधित्व करने वाले प्रतिनिधि हैं उनको अगर नहीं बताएंगे और उनके माध्यम से सारे लोगों को नहीं बताएंगे तो ये अच्छी बात नहीं है.
I don't think the youth of Kashmir are out on the streets because they need laptops. They're out on the streets because they have a political sentiment. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi says that the people of Kashmir enjoy the same azadi as the people of the rest of the country have, he willy-nilly is saying that I will not engage with the political sentiment. I will not acknowledge the sentiment of Kashmiri nationalism. And that is inherently problematic.
We believe that it's too late for the Prime Minister to react and too little, whatever he has said. In the first instance, we feel that Prime Minister ought to have unfolded his strategy to deal with the prevailing situation in Kashmir. What is required as of now is to restore normalcy more than anything else.
Now the Prime Minister channelizing it in his own inimitable style and speaking directly to the people of Kashmir. I think it's a very significant development and we welcome it. We feel that this is the beginning of a fresh healing touch for Kashmir.
Meanwhile, in related news, the government has informed Parliament that there have been 30 ceasefire violations by Pakistan on the line of control till 31st of July. Now, informing the Rajya Sabha, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar said that there has been one casualty from the army side. According to the centre, the figure shows a decline in the cases of ceasefire violation over the last 2 years. In 2014 and 15, there were 153 and 152 such violations respectively on the line of control managed by the army. The ceasefire violations on the international border under the control of Border Security Force in 2014 and 2015 were 430 and 253 respectively. In a written response to a question in Rajya Sabha, Parrikar said that there were 2 ceasefire violations till 30th of June on the international border under the control of the BSF. Responding to another question, Parrikar said that the situation on the India-Pakistan border is under control. On to some other news, well, the Ministry of Home Affairs has issued an advisory asking the states not to tolerate anyone taking law into their hands in the name of protecting the cow. Now, the advisory has also asked the state governments to take prompt action against such offenders. This stern message comes 2 days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi denounced cow vigilantes and asked people to beware of its fake protectors trying to divide the society. The advisory said historically cattle have a very special, respected and venerated status in the Indian culture and history. The central government initiative has come at a time when the Modi government and the BJP are facing flack over incidents of violence against Dalits and Muslims by cow vigilantes in various states including Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. Now, quoting the directive principles of a state policy which provides for the preservation of cows, the Home Ministry advisory said that the state shall endeavour to organise agriculture and animal husbandry on modern and scientific lines and shall in particular take steps for preserving and improving the breeds and prohibiting the slaughter of cows and calves and other milch and drought cattle. And Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has said that controversial Islamic preacher Zakir Naik has been indicted by the Mumbai police. He has said that the police has found Naik to be allegedly involved in unlawful activities with possible terror links. He further added that a watertight case is being prepared against Naik, whose organization, Islamic Research Foundation or the IRF, is also under the scanner. The Chief Minister also said that the efforts now would be made to extradite him. The Mumbai police submitted its report after probing Naik's allegedly provocative speeches, which are said to have encouraged youths to join terrorist groups. The police report will now be sent to the Union Home Ministry and further action will be taken. Meanwhile, the Union Home Ministry has initiated an inquiry against Naik's NGO IRF for alleged violation of the FEMA Act or the Foreign Contributions Regulation Act. This after a preliminary probe found that the NGO received about 15 crore rupees during a 5-year period preceding 2012, mostly from the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia and a few other Middle East countries.
डॉक्टर ज़कीर नाइक इनकी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है उसके बारे में भी कुछ चीज़ों के ऊपर बड़ी गंभीर टिप्पणी इस रिपोर्ट में की गई है। इस रिपोर्ट को हम सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के साथ, मिनिस्ट्री हमारी जो MHA है उसके साथ, होम अफेयर्स के साथ हम लोग शेयर करेंगे।
News from Tamil Nadu. Well, the first unit of the Kudankulam nuclear power project will be dedicated to the country today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin, along with the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha, will take part via video conference in the ceremony. Now, the first unit of the Indian nuclear power plant is already in service. It was connected to the southern grid, and the operation of the first 1000 megawatt unit at the Kudankulam nuclear power project has started from 31st of December 2014. Now, India signed a contract with the Soviet Union to build the plant in 1988, but the construction started only in 1997 due to the political and economic upheaval in Russia after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. The construction of the first 2 units were later halted in September 2011 following protests by the villagers around the plant. Now, work at the plant finally resumed in March 2012, and now it is days away from generating energy. Now, India's atomic power plant operator Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited, that is NPCIL, is now setting up 2,000 megawatts of Russian reactors at Kudamkulam village in the district. The reactors at Kudamkulam are being built by the Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited and Russia's Atomstroy Export Company, which is a subsidiary of the regulator body of the nuclear complex of Russia, Rosatom. News from the northeast. In the last rites of the former Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Kaliko Pulla will be performed at his ancestral village in Anjaw district of the state with full state honours. A 3-day state mourning has also been declared. Now, Pulla Congress rebel leader was found dead at his residence in Itanagar on Tuesday morning. Soon after his death, scores of his supporters staged protest on the street demanding a probe into his mysterious death. The centre rushed around 500 personnel of the Central Paramilitary Forces to the state in the wake of the violence following Pull's death. The Arunachal government has also now ordered a magisterial inquiry.
Former Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister and Congress rebel Kaliko Pull was found hanging at the Chief Minister's official residence in Itanagar on Tuesday morning. He allegedly committed suicide at the house that he was yet to vacate. 47-year-old Pull is survived by 3 wives and 4 children. Pull reportedly left behind a diary which is being examined by the police. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh spoke to Arunachal Pradesh CM Pema Khandu about Pull's death.
नहीं, मैं जितने भी जनता है आप सबको ये रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा कि इस तरह का रीमर्स को आप लोग बिलीव नहीं करना है और गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर में आप लोगों का विश्वास होना है। अभी मैटर जो भी है हम लोग पूरा इन्वेस्टिगेशन हमने ऑलरेडी आदेश दे चुका है, पुलिस इंक्वायरी और मजिस्ट्रेट इंक्वायरी के लिए भी आदेश दे चुका है। वो पूरा जो भी हकीकत है पूरा सामने आ जाएगा और सीएम बंगला के अंदर में बाहर के लोग तो नहीं है, उनका फैमिली मेम्बर लोग ही साथ में बैठा हुआ है वहाँ पे।
As soon as news of his death spread, condolence messages started pouring in from all over, with Congress President Sonia Gandhi expressing shock over it. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also tweeted his condolences.
I think he had many more meaningful years to contribute. He was just about 47 or 48 years of age. Whatever might have been the reasons behind his untimely demise, our heart goes out to the family and also the people of Arunachal Pradesh.
This is not a matter to be politicized, and naturally this is an extremely sad and solemn moment. I must say that Mr. Pull conducted himself with great dignity, balance and a sense of poise and dignity right through these turbulent times in Arunachal Pradesh.
Hours after his death, hundreds of Pull supporters staged protests outside Chief Minister Pema Khandu's residence, demanding inquiry into his death. Pull, who held the CM's post for about 5 months, had left office last month after a Supreme Court ruling ordered removal of his government. Pull rebelled against the Congress in late 2015 against then Chief Minister Nabam Tuki. In February, he became Chief Minister with the backing of the BJP. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's bring you some weather update. Well, flood fury continues in several states across the country. Now, heavy rains are likely to pound many parts of Odisha as the Met Department has forecast heavy downpour in Odisha and West Bengal in the next 24 hours. A low pressure area has intensified over Bay of Bengal into a depression. Meanwhile, at least 4 people have died and 2 others have been injured in Balasore district after a lightning struck them. Meanwhile, in Rajasthan, at least 7 people have been killed in rain-related incidents. Record rainfall in the past 24 hours has been recorded in Rajasthan's Chittorgarh and Bhilwara district. Heavy downpour has led to a flood-like situation in these areas and has also disrupted normal life. The army and the NDRF have been deployed for rescue and relief work. Meanwhile, in Uttar Pradesh as well, the situation is worrying because the Ganga River has breached its embankments and submerged ghats and large areas around its course in Varanasi as well as in Allahabad. The overflowing river has also forced people to evacuate their houses. In Gonda district, several villages have been flooded and dozen more are threatened as swollen Ghagra River has breached its banks. Meanwhile, in Assam and Bihar, the situation, however, has considerably improved in the last few days. Lakhs were displaced and over 100 people were killed in the 2 states due to the heavy downpour.
पानी की स्थिति बहुत विकराल है। पानी रातों रात बहुत इतना तेजी बढ़ गया कि लोगों का काफी सामान नुकसान हो गया।
इस समय गंगा जी एकदम बाढ़ आई हुई है और एकदम पूरा घाटों पे देखेंगे पूरा सैलाब आया हुआ है और पूरे घाट जो है जलमग्न है, आप देख ही रहे हैं चारों तरफ, और सब मंदिर पानी से डूबे हुए हैं, लबालब हैं और यात्री आ रहे हैं, जा रहे हैं, उनको आने जाने में बहुत दिक्कत भी हो रही है।
In breakfast news, time to take a very short break. Up next, we'll have all the international news and the news from Rio Games.
Gyan Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young, and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates a message of wisdom.
Welcome back. On to some international news. And US Republican nominee Donald Trump has sparked anger by suggesting his supporters could stop his Democratic rival Hillary Clinton by exercising their gun rights. Now, Trump, while speaking at a rally, said that Clinton would put liberal justices on the Supreme Court if she wins the presidency in November, threatening gun ownership rights. He then made a reference to the Second Amendment that enshrines the right to bear arms in the United States Constitution, hinting that gun rights advocates could stop her taking power. Now, critics are accusing Trump of inciting violence, but his campaign team has defended the Republican presidential nominee, saying that he was talking about getting gun rights supporters to the ballot boxes to enact change politically.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know.
And against a backdrop of rising tensions between Turkey and the West, President Vladimir Putin of Russia and Recep Erdogan of Turkey pledged to repair relations after months of open antagonism. Now, although the meeting in St. Petersburg on Tuesday produced a little beyond vows of friendship and cooperation, the symbolism of two former antagonists coming together raised alarms in the Western capitals. Besides being a member of the NATO alliance, Turkey is vital to Europe's efforts to stanch the flow of migrants from Syria and Afghanistan. Now, during the meet, Putin said that Russian trade sanctions on Turkey would be phased out step by step. Erdogan also thanked Putin, saying a call from the Russian leader after the coup meant a lot, adding that the Moscow-Ankara friendship axis will be restored. Now, their relations, remember, had soured last November when Turkey had shot down a Russian bomber on the Syrian border. The two nations also back opposing sides in Syria.
Правительственном уровне подготовить среднесрочную программу, я сейчас только об этом говорил, торгово-экономического, научно-технического и культурного сотрудничества на 2016-2019 годы. Я очень рассчитываю, что эта программа будет принята в самое ближайшее время.
Bizim yeniden eski seviyelere ve hatta ötesine taşınması hususunda iki taraf son derece kararlıdır ve gerekli iradeye sahiptir.
Let's now bring you news from Rio Olympics. Well, day 4 at the Rio Olympics turned out to be cheerful for India as the archer Atanu Das and boxer Vikas Krishnan entered the pre-quarterfinals, while the men's hockey team stood up to the challenge posed by Argentina to virtually sew up a last 8 spot on a reasonably successful day for the Indian athletes in the Olympic Games. The Indian men's hockey team scored its second victory in the Rio Olympics, beating Argentina 2-1. India took an early lead in the 8th minute and the second quarter remained goalless. Now, Khadang Bam then extended the lead for India in the 35th minute. India led 2-0 at the end of the third quarter as well. However, Gonzalo Peliat then scored for Argentina in the 49th minute to reduce the lead. The win keeps India's hopes alive for the quarter-final match. Meanwhile, former Asian Games gold medalist Vikas Krishnan gave a perfect start to India's boxing campaign in the Olympics, beating American greenhorn Charles Cornwell to enter the pre-quarterfinals on Wednesday. Vikas defeated the Olympic debutant 3-0 in his opening contest, which came alive only in the final 3 minutes to make the last 16. And Indian archer Atanu Das entered the men's individual eliminators with a 139-135 win over Cuba's Adrian Perez on Tuesday. Well, Das first defeated his Nepalese counterpart in a round of 32 and then kept his composure to prevail over Cuban Andrew Andres Fuentes 6-4 in a thrilling clash. He will next face former world number 5 South Korean archer Lee Seong-yoon on 12th of August. And Hina Sindhu's Rio campaign came to an end on Tuesday after she finished 21st at the end of the 25-meter pistol rapid stage qualification. Well, Hina managed to score a total of 576 after the precision and rapid stages at the Olympic Shooting Center. Well, after finishing a lowly 30th in the precision stage, Hina then started the first series of rapid with a 97 out of 100 and then fired another 97 in the second series, which lifted her position to the 19th spot. An Indian rower, Dattu Bhokanal, crashed out of the Rio Games after finishing 4th in the men's singles sculls quarter-final. Bhokanal, the only Indian rower in the fray, commenced strongly and was second going past the 50-meter mark, but he gradually slowed down to lose his chance of advancing.
Well played here in the third position. Seconds outside Olympic record pace.
Let's take a look at some more events that made headlines at the Rio Games. Well, a record-breaking Olympian Michael Phelps won his 20th gold medal as he thrashed the defending champion Chad de Clos to take the 200 meters butterfly gold. Phelps cruised to victory in 1 minute 53.36 seconds as the South African only managed to finish 4th. He also avenged 29-year-old de Clos' victory over him at the London Games. Also, in tennis, defending champion Serena Williams crashed out of the games after losing to Ukrainian Elena Svitolina in the women's singles third round. The world number one struggles were highlighted by the 5 double falls in the 7 games of the second set. Williams and sister Williams, remember, were earlier knocked out of the women's doubles match when they lost to Czech Republican pair of Lucy Safarova and Barbora Strykova. Meanwhile, France won its first gold medal at the Rio Games on Tuesday in a dramatic show jumping final, rising 2 places from the cross-country phase after riders from Australia and New Zealand knocked the rails down. Germany had to settle for silver as their Olympics streak of 2 team titles ended, despite their 2012 individual gold medalist Michael Jung posting a clear round with no penalties. Australia took bronze. And China's Chen Raolin and Liu Huixia claimed gold in the women's synchronized 10 meters platform diving event on Tuesday. The duo failed to achieve the top score in the 3rd and 4th divers, but came back strongly in the final one, breaking into big guns and hugging as they achieved a total score of 354 points. Chen, competing in her 3rd Summer Olympics, has won every title in the synchronized 10 meters platform event since 2006. Let's take a look at the overall medal tally now. And the United States continues its dominance on day 4 as well by winning 3 golds on Tuesday and taking the lead to 24. China is at the 2nd spot with 17 medals. That includes 8 gold, 3 silver and 6 bronze, while Hungary jumps to the 3rd spot with 6 medals. That includes 4 gold. Meanwhile, Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis have decided to end their successful doubles partnership. Now, this unexpected development has come a big shock to the fans of the pair that took the tennis world by storm last year when they won 9 titles, including the year-end WTA championship. Now, Sania Mirza will partner with world number 21, Barbora Strykova from the Czech Republic, while Martina Hingis has now teamed up with the Coco Van Gersch of the US. Sania and Hingis began their partnership last year in March when, with a bang, winning 3 titles on the trot. Sania became world number 1 in partnership with Martina when they won the Charleston event. Sania also enjoyed her first ever women's doubles Grand Slam title by winning the Wimbledon with Martina. Later, the pair also won the 2015 US Open. They carried their red-hot form into the 2016 season as well by winning 4 events on the trot, including the Australian Open. They stitched together an incredible 41-match winning streak, which ended this year in February at Doha when they lost. However, for the pair, the result in the 5 months last have not been encouraging. They also failed to defend their Wimbledon crown. Last month's Montreal event happened to be their last tournament together, where they lost in the quarterfinals. In all, they won 14 titles, including 3 majors, together in the 16-month-long partnership.
This time. It's on the other side of the court.
Well, that's all in this edition of news. Thanks so much for watching.